it to him. Your podcast that no one listens to. Your podcast that no one listens to. Your podcast that no one listens to. Your podcast that no one listens to.
It's what we call a triple decker. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the podcast that no one listens to. I'm your host, Kevin Porter. Back for the first brand new episode in some time. Yeah, it's been a couple weeks. Probably been about like 3 weeks since I've actually sat down and recorded a show. I guess technically, if you're an audio only listener, you got that bonus episode on the audio only apps. Your Spotify's, your Apple's. Has anybody actually used the Podbean app? I know Darren does. Darren's told me that he uses the Podbean app. Former guest or previous guest of the podcast that no one listens to. Darren Fogelsong. What's up, dude? If you're watching, hey, how's it going, dude? Yeah, dude. So we're back for the first week in a while, dude. We obviously had the episode with Brandon Allen dropped last week. That was something I actually recorded about like 3 weeks ago. Dude, yeah, I know, man, like, plans change, dude. I know, it's been the struggle all year. Well, actually, it hasn't been too much of a struggle, but it's just, we have some gaps here and there in terms of the weeks. And, previously, dude, I would be freaking out. I'd be like, dude, no, I have to have an episode out by Friday, dude. Oh, my God, the listeners. Like, all 5 of you, dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah to all 5 of you that are watching, dude. But hopefully you understand that, it's life, and I'm just kind of at the point now when it comes to this shit where, dude, it's got to be fun. I'm not going to fucking overstress myself. I'm just going to live a chill fucking life, and that's the way it is, dude. So that's all a podcast is, dude. It's a little slice of life. So that's what it is, man. That's where we are, dude. So if we miss a week, we miss a week. If we don't miss a week, well, hey, we're doing good then. That's what that means. I don't know, dude. I've just been up and down in emotions the last couple weeks, dude. I don't know. I wasn't like not looking forward to doing this episode, but this episode I gotta talk talk real life, dude. What's been going on the last couple weeks, and the biggest thing that's happened, unfortunately, we had to say goodbye to my uncle Steve here 2 weeks ago. Yeah, about 2 weeks ago. Just unfortunately, he had cancer for the last couple of years, and cancer catches up to you sometimes, and unfortunately, luckily enough, I should say, we were able to go say actual goodbyes to him and kiss him and pray with him and, be with him for several days. And a couple days after we left, he passed away. And that was, it was definitely hard. Definitely very emotional. I think I'm on the rebound now, I think at this point, I wasn't necessarily looking forward to coming on here and talking about this type of shit because, it's just, it is what it is, man. I mean, like, shit, dude. It's like we've lost a lot of family members in the last, fucking 6 years or so. If you go back in the archives, there's an episode talking about my Aunt Val passing away, my mom passing away, my sister passing away, and now my Uncle Steve passing away. And it's just, I guess that's life, unfortunately. I really do understand truly now when everybody's like, fuck cancer, dude, like 100%. Like, I'll wear the pink shirt, dude, give me the ribbon, dude. Even though those charities are all bullshit anyway, and they just steal money from everybody, probably. Allegedly, at least that's what the internet said. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I'm kind of like, I don't really even have the words, like. Woke up here today on a Friday, trying to sleep in. Like, okay, I knew I was going to have to do this episode. I was going to do it last night, but I was just stressed out throughout the day. And so I said, fuck it, and that's typically what it is, dude. Now it's like, if I just feel overwhelmed, I'm just like, I'm not going to do anything like this. Cause again, this is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be something that brings us happiness in that sense. So yeah, I just sat around and played video games with Jameson all night. That's been like the one cool thing this summer. It's just spending time with Jameson and my kids and just like Jory. I mean, Jory's 20 years old, ladies and gentlemen. So that kid is like pretty much out the door hanging out with his girlfriend all the time. So like Jameson's still underage. So like me and him just chill, dude. We've seen like fucking 6 or 7 movies this summer. I've been getting better at FIFA because of him, dude. We've been playing FIFA on the PlayStation. And I was never really into soccer, but like last night when we were playing, I scored my first goal. And I was like so happy. I was like, okay, I'm starting to understand the sport of soccer and how to play the game. So that's cool. We played like what else did we play? We got the new Marvel Fighting Collection. It's like Marvel versus Capcom and like all those old like cool arcade games from back in the day. Yeah, those are some of my favorite games, dude. Like when I got that Raspberry Pi to play like all those emulators, like the arcade games were like the real reason I bought that thing. Because like for the life of me, dude, I can never figure out how to install those things on my computer. So just like, all right, let me give you a little bit of money and just give me a device that plays it automatically. Like I'm good with that. But yeah, with that being said, I mean, like, dude, those X-Men versus Street Fighter, Capcom versus Marvel, all that shit, dude. Like, I'm not necessarily a fan of like selecting multiple characters on your team, like having like 3 people on your team or whatever, or 2 people on your team. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, I just like to pick one fighter and that's it. Just like, let's roll with. I'm gonna pick Guile, pick Chun-Li. I'm gonna pick fucking Ryu, Ken. And those are all Street Fighter characters, like Blanca. Have you guys seen the trailer for that new Street Fighter movie? Fuck, dude, that thing looks pretty badass. I don't know. I was pretty happy with the Mortal Kombat 2. I thought it was a better story compared to the first one, which I think everybody's like, no one had a problem with like the violence in it. It was like, oh, you guys did it, dude. This feels like a Mortal Kombat video game. But that first one though, they introduced some character that was like not even in the video game or anything like that, and it's like, dude, fans are just gonna be like, nah, I'm good. I want to focus on Johnny Cage. Where the fuck's Johnny Cage? And then they brought Johnny Cage in. And it's like, all right, okay, this is a good movie. I liked it. Because again, I'm like not that hard to impress, dude. I'm like, smoke a little weed, go into a movie theater. I'm like, if I feel entertained throughout it, it's like, it's a good movie then. Like I just like, I don't know, I just can't stand like those intellectual types, those people that like go to fucking film school and shit. They're like, oh, I know so much, and they did this wrong, and I'm like, I don't know. When it comes to like video production, like I took 2 years of YV Tech, dude. So like public fucking schooling, I guess. I don't know. It's connected to college, but I never did like any sort of a degree with like film or TV production or anything like that. I just like doing it. So it was like, well, okay, now I know. I basically went there to learn how to edit, and like film, to set up a camera, film, edit, export, shit like that. So I mean, like, it was basically going into the public access stations where I really like just fucking took my teeth into the fucking ground and like learned to edit, which if you compare my edits from 20 years ago, it's like, dude, I'm a lot better about cutting the fat out, dude. Let's just put it that way. Dog shit, dude. Some of that shit was dog shit. So bad. But yeah, I don't know, dude. So it's just like, I don't know, your average popcorn flick. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, people talk shit about Marvel movies. I mean, there are worse Marvel movies out there than there are good ones. I mean, there are good ones and bad ones, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But for the most part, dude, like, again, like, I'm not that hard to entertain. I'm kind of stupid, I'm a little dumb, I think. I don't know. It's not that I'm dumb, but, like, I don't know. I just remember in high school just being like, oh, I want to be an intellectual, dude. People talk about, like, government and, not a lot of talk about religion or anything like that, because they're all fucking atheists and shit. But, they, you talk politics and just, like, what's the word? Oh, fuck, dude. Philosophy. Yeah, that's the word. Fuck. You'd be like, I'm a philosopher or something, And, like, I just remember as a kid, like, oh, I want to be like that. And then, like, I'd be like, oh, I just want to get smart and shit. And then, like, I like history, so I don't know. It's just, like, whatever I'm interested in, I try to learn about it or whatever. But I just never felt like, I'm like that fucking smart or anything like that. Like, I'm like, oh, I have all this knowledge. I'm better than people or something. It's like, I know what I know, and that's about it, dude. So maybe you know more than me, maybe I can teach you something, because, like, I don't know. That's one thing I do enjoy is, like, talking to people and, like, learning things from people. And I think I guess that is how you get smarter. You just have an open mind and don't be a dick. So, all right. Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, man, just want to come on here and shout out my Uncle Steve. That dude's been a rock, for me for so many years. Especially going through like all the shit with my mom and sister, and this goes back not to just them dying, like just going through the shit with my mom and sister, dude. I'm not gonna fucking sugarcoat it on here, dude. I mean, I love my mom, I love my sister, but damn, dude, they had their fucking issues, dude. They had their fucking issues. And, and by the end of it, I mean, before they died, it was about a year or two before both of them died. I just remember giving up, dude. It was like right around the time of COVID. And I just was like, dude, you guys fucking get kicked out of that house. Like, I'm fucking done, dude. I have moved you so many fucking times. I have come in to help. Like, every single time you guys get in fucking issues, and, like, I'm done, dude. It's like, dude, like, you guys are adding more stress to my life than, like, you're providing happiness, you know? Shit like that. It's like, it's like I don't hear from you for fucking a month, and then, like, boom, all of a sudden you have a problem, and you call me, and it's like, I got sick and tired of that. And then Steve was always there. Steve always was there. He'd help my mom, help my sister out wherever he could on his end. So I don't know. He was just always like a solid role model for me for me personally. Cause I didn't have any role, like I never had like a real male role model in my life. And it's not to say like me and Steve were like super close or anything, in a sense. Like I think we'd become closer over the years, especially as I got older, trading text messages and whatnot. But, yeah, man, it was like a month before he passed away. He was getting off chemo and trying a different medication. And I just remember having this, like, we were driving to Kennewick to go to the mall up there. And I just remember having this thing in my mind, just like, you need to talk to him. You need to hit him up and have that conversation. Just have some like good dialogue. I don't know. So I hit him up, and we just, I don't know, for like a day, for like a solid day, we were just trading text messages back and forth about different shit. And none of it real serious shit or anything. It was like mainly movies and stuff, which is like pretty fucking normal for me, dude. I had this dream about my mom like a couple months ago, and it was in this dream, and like I met her on this bridge with water, and like she didn't, because a lot of times in my dreams, like when I see my mom, like she'd be a lot older and stuff, and it'd be kind of more of a scarier dream, kind of like what I was talking about, just dealing with all those issues. But like she was more like what I remember from being a kid and stuff. And I just remember instantly, I'm like, oh mom, I love you, and like, let me tell you about this movie. And it's like you think about it, you wake up and you think about it, and you're like, why the fuck would I like bring up movies? Like, if this really was like, if you really believe like, seeing, a dead relative in your dream or something, that's like them coming and seeing you or something, like, which I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't know. It's kind of nice to think about that and be like, oh, they're just checking in on you. And that's kind of cool. This fucking world's hard. It's fucking hard fucking world that we live in, dude. Daily life, dude. We all struggle, dude. And it fucking sucks. And it's just like, dude, so you just like, I don't know. I guess that's like why I always try to just be nice to people. Because I always just try to assume they're having a bad day, maybe, or something. And like, I don't like, why should I contribute to your bad day? I guess that's why I get mad when people are fucking dicks to me. And I'm like, dude, I'm always fucking nice. Like, we didn't have to be this way. You could have just been fucking nice. But I don't know. I mean, that's just something I try to live by. It's just this, like, again, like, what's the point of being an asshole in this life? Like, intentionally hurting people? Like, that's fucking psycho shit, dude. Like, I know we make jokes and stuff. We always have fun, but it's like, dude, at the end of the day, like, I love human beings, dude. And I always treat a person based on the way they treat me. Pretty fucking common sense to me, dude. It doesn't matter. I mean, religion, political views, fucking everything else, dude. Skin color, all that shit. It's like, dude, who gives a shit? We're all human beings at the end of the day. I don't know. And that's just something I learned as a child, I guess. I don't know. Like, you hear the Martin Luther King speeches as a kid. And especially as I get older, dude, like, I have a dream speech, and it's just, it's really like so profound, like what he said, and like minus anything about him being a CIA agent or something or like whatever, because you hear about it, dude. The corruption's always been there, dude. Like, people get murdered, all this shit, dude. It's fucking nuts. Which, again, like, at the end of the day, you hear the conspiracies, and like whether you choose to believe them or not. I don't necessarily believe every single conspiracy, but do I believe that the U.S. government is more involved in things that we don't know about? Yeah, I do believe that. So anyway, like, just getting back to that, I have a dream speech, like, just so profound, dude. It was just like, just what he said in there, and like, we're all together as human beings, and no one's judged by the color of their skin and race, creed, or sex, or whatever it is. Fuck, dude, those are words to live by, dude. Like, that's, you got the 10 Commandments, and then you got what Jesus taught. And it's like, you're always taught to love. You're always taught to be peaceful, find peace in life. So why create drama? Why create fucking drama in your life? It's kind of fucking silly, It's really fucking silly at the end of the day. If you're out there fucking causing shit, and like, oh, this person wronged me, this, that. It's like, Like, I'm not saying, like, I don't know, maybe it's because I've worked customer service for fucking 20 years and I hear about shit every fucking day. It's like PTSD at this fucking point. Maybe because I hear that every day. I don't know. You do have to have empathy, and I just like, I don't know, like working customer service. Like, I think you lose a little bit of empathy when it comes to like definitely like first world problems. When you're calling me up about your fucking, something going wrong, and it's like, well, shit happens. I mean, this shit happens to me too. It's like not losing your shit, and it's like it's just a thing. It's gonna pass. It's gonna get fixed. Like, why lose your energy? Why lose your peace over something that in the grand scheme of things doesn't fucking matter? I don't know. I don't understand those people. Like, those people are definitely on a different wavelength. It's like you're trying to ascend, and like you feel like somebody like that, is like kind of like down here. It's like low vibration type shit. I mean, again, you go to conspiracy theories, you talk about these different fucking realms and all this shit, and it's like one thing I'd heard is like, like these things, these entities are trying to steal our loosh is what it's called or some shit, which, Kevin, what's the definition of a loosh? I don't know. I just heard it on a podcast, and it's like, that's basically trying to steal energy from us. And that's like, where you get your anxiety and your bad thoughts and like all this shit, and trying to like, that's like such a huge force in this world and shit, dude. And it's like, well, Kevin, you surround yourself with the horror films. Like, you always hear that, like, oh, horror films are, tools of the devil or something, which, like, I'm not saying it isn't, but I don't know. I just, like, I've always had, like, a piece with that. It's like, to me, it's just a movie. It's just a fucking movie. Like, this has no control over my life. I enjoy watching it because, I don't know, I have a fucking sixth sense of fucking humor, dude. Like, I like fucked up shit. I'm sorry, dude. That's just like how I fucking am, dude. Like, I've been wired. I'm a product of South Park, dude. I'm from the South Park generation. Jerry Springer, Stone Cold Steve Austin, dude. Shit like that, where I'm like, I don't know. I just find shit, like fucked up shit, to be funny. Like on an individual level now, again, like if it wasn't me just sitting on a cell phone watching it and I knew that person and I knew what the situation was, it's like, you definitely feel bad. I mean, it's not saying I don't have fucking empathy and shit, because I do have empathy, but, with working customer service, sometimes you think about it. It's like, do I have empathy? It's like, no, I still have empathy. And that's dealing with it on an individual level. I know that's simplifying it, but it's like, if you're like in front of me telling me a situation, I'm not going to fucking laugh at a fucked up situation. I'm really sorry that happened at that point. I'm sorry that somebody filmed you and put it online and 50 million people watched it. Wouldn't that be the day? It's like, oh, that's how you get internet famous, Dad. You just do stupid shit. Like I'm watching online last night, and like this guy's like, he's sniffing like fucking like peppers and shit, dude. And it's just some crackhead down south. He's like, Dad, it's me. I'm down here. We're gonna sniff the pepper today. I hope you like my video. It's like, I don't know. He had the Jackass theme over and shit, which, I don't know, dude. It's just like the shit you see online, and then you look at the likes, and it's like 15,000 fucking likes, and you're like, what the fuck am I doing wrong, dude? Like, all this amateur shit. It's an amateur hour online, dude. Like, point and shoot, dude. Like, I don't know. I mean, and again, like, am I jealous? A little bit. Just a little bit. But it's like, dude, I don't want to, like, lower my standards in terms of, like, content. It's like, okay, do podcasting, do sketches, we do movies, we'll do a talk show. It's like old school format, which it kind of feels like shit's coming back, because everybody's like, you gotta buy physical, dude. They're taking everything away. Don't buy digital anymore, dude. Which, I don't know. I have like, clearly I like physical media, and I think you should own physical media, because yeah, one day if they want to take something away offline, boom, you got it. It's right there. You got a working VCR, got a working DVD player, got a working Blu-ray, 4K, like Laserdisc. We're good. We're covered. But at the same time, I'm lazy as fuck. So, like, if I'm laying in bed, do I want to get up and walk out here and grab a fucking movie? Not really. So that's why I do invest in the digital market, So I do buy, like, digital video games and digital movies so I can be fucking lazy. And I don't know. It is what it is. Like, I don't necessarily see a problem with digital in that sense. If it makes your life easier, sure. Like, fuck it, I'm lazy. I don't know. Sometimes, though, that's what I gotta do, though. It's like I gotta come back into this room, and it's like renting, dude. I gotta pick out, okay, I'm gonna watch these 3 movies over the weekend. And then just watch those movies and be like, dude, stop being a fat ass. Get out of bed. Put the fucking movie in and press play, dude. Come on, what are we doing here, man? So, I don't know. We're all over the place on this one. I know we're supposed to be, talking about my Uncle Steve and like, and a little bit celebrating his life. And I don't know, just having his memory on the podcast. I think that's powerful. And, it just is what it is. It's the conversation you're getting today. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of positive role models in my life, dude. Let's just put it that way, dude. From a broken marriage, my mom and dad divorced when I was like 4 years old. Barely any memories of being there. I moved to this town called Yakima, which, dude, I was so set up, dude. I was gonna live on the fucking west side, dude. If my parents didn't fucking divorce, I'd be living in Olympia right now or some shit, dude. And that's where he ended up, at least. But yeah, I was fucking born in Tacoma, lived in Bellingham, fucking moved to Yakima. Oh, the luck of the fucking draw, just because we had family here. And that's where my Uncle Steve was. He was here in Yakima. My Aunt Val was here in Yakima. My grandma was in Yakima. So we moved here, and Uncle Steve was always there. Him and Aunt Carol, they were always there in my life. Then my cousins Charity, Corey. I have a cousin Audrey, which I don't really have memories of Audrey. There's a picture of me like as a little fucking baby screaming, and like I'm fucking just crying. And you see all my cousins and all of us when we were like, it was like what, 86 at that point probably. I do remember the couch. I do remember the couch that we were sitting on because it was my grandma's couch, and I remember that couch being kept in the family for years after that. So I don't know. Maybe if I'm not lazy in editing, you're seeing the picture right there. So, but yeah, that was my family, dude. Like that was our family. And then my grandma dies in '93 of cancer, which she smoked like a chimney. I assume she smoked like a chimney. I mean, you get lung cancer from smoking cigarettes, so that sucks. But I remember that, and that was my first like real experience with death. It was my grandma. I remember I remember the day she died, and we went to our family home on 14th Avenue, over by the college, Larson Park. What's up, dude? 14th and St. Helens. Grew up in that neighborhood. Later we moved into that house like years later, so I have a lot of memories there. That's where my grandma died, though. So I went to my friend's house next door, and then I remember, like, I don't know, somebody came over. I don't know if it was my cousin Charity or my mom. I don't remember who the hell it was. But told me that my grandma died. I remember started crying, and, like, I remember going to the funeral. And then, like, I remember because they're reading the obituary, so, like, they list off all the grandchildren, and my name comes up. And I remember doing this. I was like, it's my name. They said my name in front of a crowd. And it's just like, you're fucking, like, I'm, like, 6 years old or some shit, dude. Like, what the fuck? I just remember that. I remember all the family coming in town for the funeral. I remember seeing my cousin Lori, which is my mom's cousin, so my second cousin. I saw her kids were my age, Josh and Jake, and like we hung out. I remember playing Sega Genesis. I remember they took us up to go rent a video game, and I think we rented. What the fuck did we rent, dude? I want to say like Road Rage, Road Rage maybe. I think it was Road Rage, and maybe one of the wrestling games. I just remember we were playing Sega a lot because my mom had bought us a Sega Genesis. So, and that was the only system she ever bought. My fucking little brother ended up with the original Nintendo that we had as a kid. Because like when I was living with my parents, we had a Nintendo. I remember that because I remember playing Mario. And then like when they divorced, my mom didn't fucking take the Nintendo. And I'm like, there's one fucking thing you could have done. You could have taken the fucking Nintendo? What's wrong with you boomers? So, and then, so yeah, we're in Yakima, and then life kind of just goes on. There's family drama all the time. I don't necessarily see my Uncle Steve all the time. I don't necessarily see my Aunt Val all the time. At least I don't have memories. It's like, I compare it to like my kids growing up and like how close Jessica is with her sister and the amount of times that like, they babysat and just like all this shit. They're like a big part of my kid's life. And I'm not saying my Aunt Val and Uncle Steve weren't a big part of my life, but I mean, they had their own lives going on. They got their own families, dude. I mean, it is what it is. So it's like it is what it is. So we grew up and shit. And again, just my mom being a single mom. Steve encouraged her to try to get back into college. My mom couldn't handle it, so she dropped out, got a fucking job. Sounds familiar. Sounds familiar. Like just was always there for her. He traveled internationally a lot, especially after his kids grew up. He traveled the world, dude, going to like South America, I think Yemen, just all over the Middle East, into fucking like Georgia over there by Russia and Ukraine and all that. Yeah, dude. I mean, the dude was goal orientated. Like he wanted to travel, so they traveled. And, it's just kind of funny because like, talking to my Aunt Carol, like she she mentioned to me about apparently he had a fear of dying young because my grandpa, his dad, died at like 43, and like, I'm like, oh man, I've had that fear my whole entire life, dude. Like, I've had that same fucking fear, dude. Knock on wood, Lord willing, we live long into our years and stuff, But yeah, I was like, to hear that though, I was like, oh man, I wish I could have talked to him about that. Cause then like, fast forward, all the shit goes down. My Aunt Val passes, my mom passes, my sister passes. And, so like being in a unique situation there. Cause like, I have a half brother who's older. His name's Justin. He's like, lives down in California and shit. Like, again, like me and him have always had like a consistent relationship where like we do talk and stuff. And we've always like stayed in contact. But a lot of times we, the phone call every once in a while and the text message and whatnot. But, it's like, personally, I want to be closer. Like, I wish like we had that like bro relationship where like, I mean, I think we do, cause I don't feel like I have to like, cause sometimes like when you're around people you don't know, you feel like you can't be yourself or something. But like, I don't know. I feel like I'm always by my, like, I always tell him, I'm told I smoke weed. Like, he doesn't smoke weed or like drink alcohol, which obviously my dad being the example, I would have to imagine, because my dad was a raging fucking alcoholic, raging fucking alcoholic. But yeah, when my dad died, like in 2006, and again, I guess that would have been like I had experiences with like my grandpa dying, but I didn't know my grandpa, on my dad's side. Like, I didn't know him, so I just heard he died, and like my dad was super sad. And it was like, I remember I have memories of my grandpa, and I remember we went to his house and I found these like little nudie magazine fucking calendars, and I was like, well, sticking that in my fucking pocket. That was cool. But yeah, it was like, and he wasn't, it didn't seem like he was extremely close either. Cause like, my dad was into my fucking life. Like my parents divorced, and like, this is the fucked up part, man. This is where like, it's like, I don't necessarily hold it against him because we're all flawed as human beings. So it's like, I don't have anger or anything about this shit, but like, it's just kind of fucked up when you think about it. Cause like, cause like when he met my mom, he was with my older brother's mom. So he cheated on his mom with my mom, and then had, it was years later, but then eventually had me and my sister. And then like I was born in 85. My sister was born in 88. By 89, he's fucking out the door, dude. He's cheating on my mom, dude. And he's like already with some other chick, and that's where my little brother comes in. Then he has a kid with her. What the fuck? You got 4 kids, dude. 3 different baby mamas, man. Thank God, man. That's one thing I was like fucking so happy I don't have to deal with, dude. That shit sounds, step parent sounds like it is a nightmare, I should say. Dealing with my stepmom was a fucking nightmare. I don't fucking talk to her these days. I don't even know she's still fucking alive. Like, my little brother does not fucking talk to me. And like, yeah, we had our issues when we were kids. Like, we're like 4 years apart from each other. He's kind of fucking weird, dude. I don't know. He's cross-eyed, not throwing shade, but I am throwing shade because I don't give a fuck. I'm long past giving a fuck about that guy. Because, like, I don't know. Again, like, it's so stupid. Because when my dad died, fucking, we're going over there, and I guess we're trying to have a relationship with my stepmom at that point. And, just stay in contact. And again, dude, I'm fucking 19 years old, dude. I'm a fucking dumb kid, dude. And they were sending a couple packages for Jory because he was a little baby and stuff. And like, one time, like, something was getting delivered to my house, probably FedEx, because FedEx is fucking stupid and they always do this shit. But like, it was like one of those things where it's like, they lift a thing and said you had to go down to the thing to go sign for it, or else it's getting sent back. I apparently never went back and did that. I never accepted the package that got returned. And in my mind, like, if I get a package returned, my first question is like, oh, what's going on? Maybe I'll make contact with that person. Be like, hey, I sent you a package. Oh, yeah, dude, I'm sorry. I'm fucking 20 years old, and like, I'm dumb as shit. I didn't have the time because I'm working. I got a little baby at home. I got a wife. Like, I'm chilling, dude. Like, I don't even think we were married yet, were we? Like, I think we were married at that point because we got married like 6 months after my dad died. Because Jory was born in December, my dad dies in March, and we're married in September that year, so 2006. 20 fucking years this year, dude. Holy shit. That's congratulations, Kevin and Jessica. You did it. So, and then just from there, it was just like, I don't know, it was like a cold shoulder. I remember like when I was going through, like, when me and Jessica, talk about the bad times. When me and Jessica were going through our like divorce back in 2010, I remember calling her and I'm like, dude, I don't have anything right now. Like, I have no money. I'm going through this shit. Like, I need to get a job. But I need a car. Like, I don't have a car. And like, I asked her, I was like, hey, can I have dad's car? you know, because they had a minivan and he had his truck. He's like, oh, well, I think Kyle's going to start driving it. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right, yep. You chose your son over helping me. You guys have money. I know you have money. You got all the dad's pension. Like, you got everything in terms of, like, any sort of cash out of that man. Like, I didn't get shit. I didn't get one fucking thing for that guy. You know? A lot of bullshit, right? Which, again, it's not about the money, but, like, dude, like, this is, like, the lowest point of my life, you know? Like, I'm going through a divorce. I'm in this, like, middle of this situation where, like, I made a bad decision and, like, I fucking, you know, like, I'm not going to hold it back, dude. I mean, obviously, you know, it's just, you know, in 2010, dude, I'm, like, 24 years old, you know? And, like, I make dumb decisions, dude, when I was drinking and, like, met a girl and thought I was, you know, fucking, you know, I want to say love or anything because it's not love, but you know what it is. And I'm like, and it's just like, it was just such a fucked up situation, dude, because it's like literally me and Jessica are fighting all the time. Fighting. And it's been years of fighting at this point. And I'm just like, dude, at that point, I'm just like, I'm fucking done. And like, I tell her I'm done and I'm leaving and I leave and I don't come back that day. And then I met that girl and it's like, that's kind of fucked up. Like, it's fucked up. Think back upon, you know, it's like, again, lowest point of my life, dude. You know, I've spent, you know, 16 fucking years rebuilding my fucking life, you know. It's like, to me, it's always one of those, like, that's the thing you always look back on. You're always like, do never fucking do that again, dude. Like, you know, and obviously fast forward, I mean, we're fine. Like, we worked through it and she was able to forgive me for that. And, you know, and again, she made it her own faults in terms of like, well, maybe I shouldn't have been pushing you so hard and being an asshole. And I was like, well, I was an asshole too. And like, we're both assholes and it is what it is. And we have a great relationship, 20 years now, dude. Like, we didn't go through the divorce, obviously. And then, oh yeah, top it off. Like, so I leave and I'm done. And then she's like, I'm pregnant. What the fuck, dude? So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm done. Like, and now you're pregnant. Like, and then of course in my mind, I'm like, you're just turning out like your fucking father, you know, you're drinking, you're fucking, you know, womanizing, you're leaving your children. Like, you told yourself, because that was my promise when I had, even before I had Jory, I always told myself, I will be a better dad than my dad was to me. You know, that was always my thing. And, you know, and that just fucking killed me. So it was like 3 months of this shit. And it was only at like a 3-month fucking span. It wasn't even that fucking long. And so, yeah, I called her during that time and I was like, I need a car. Like, I need a fucking car. Please help me. Nope. Okay. Well, that's kind of a line in the fucking sand right there. It wasn't even like, hey, you know, like, can I maybe give you, you know, can I loan you some money and then you pay me back? And like, it wasn't even that type of offer, you know, it wasn't even like, I'm not going to help you, you know? So it's just like, okay, well, I guess that's where we're at in this relationship. And I've never talked to her since, you know, and that was 16 years ago, dude. And I tried like getting in contact with my brother over the years. I'd send him messages. And at one point he never responded to me on Facebook or anything. So I was like, dude, fuck this guy, dude. I'm gonna fuck with him. And I just like started fucking messaging him like bop like every fucking day until he like replied back to me. And he finally did. And we had like a loose conversation about some video games, and that was it. But then, dude, like, I'm always up in Olympia over by them and shit. So because I got friends up there, and like, so I'd hit him up, be like, dude, I'm in town, like let's fucking. I know my dogs are fucking barking. Like, I'm people just pulled up to my house. Like, it's a bad podcast. I know, dude. So yeah, that was the end of the fucking relationship there. So yeah, like I was saying, you know, I'd hit my brother up and be like, dude, let's get breakfast or something, or like, let's get lunch or some shit. Just doesn't reply to me. Like, he gets he responds to me when I tell him his sister's dying. He does that. So there was a little bit of conversation there, and it was basically just like, oh, thanks for letting me know, which I know it hurt him, dude. I mean, like, I'm not saying they didn't, obviously. I know he cared. But I mean, there's been no communication since then. Not even him trying. And I haven't tried. After that, dude, I was like, I'm done. I tried. Like, I really did try to, like, have a relationship with that kid. And, like, dude, it's like, yeah, you have your fucking issues when you're a kid. You know, it's like, dude, me and him, like, fought. I didn't like his fucking mom. I still don't like his fucking mom. Never did. I caught her talking shit about my mom. Like, I was, like, around the corner and I heard her on the phone with somebody, and she was, like, talking about, like, you know, the fucking kids are over here and their fucking mom and da-da-da-da-da, and just, like, talking shit. And I'm just like... And this is why I didn't want my kids to ever have to go through a stepdad, stepmom relationship, because I mean, like, for every good step parent out there, there's fucking 10 bad ones. You know, I've seen it. I can't name a positive step parent, to be honest, dude. Like, within my entirety of my family, it's never, for the most part, at least, maybe some people say different, but it's never that good. So, yeah, anyway, obviously we fixed our shit and had Jameson, and again, 16 years of fucking trying to fix my shit. So, yeah. You know, that I got a little real on this episode for sure, but you know, again, this is the podcast that no one listens to, and we're in the basement of YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't really care. It is what it is, and that's life. So yeah, man, like, you know, so that's my relationship with my dad, dude. He was just straight fucking drunk. He dies. Again, like, Steve's always around, dude. He took me to Disneyland when I was like 17, you know, which is cool because like most kids go when they're young and they don't remember it. Like, I went when I was 17, like. And normally it'd be like, oh, dude, let's just smoke a bunch of weed and let's go through the park. But like, this was before weed was legal. So I went down there and just like smoked cigarettes the whole entire time. And, you know, me and him went to the park one day and just like, we ran through it, you know, did all the rides. Went to a couple movies, dude. We went to see the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And he was like, I didn't really like that movie. And I'm like, yeah, it was all right. Again, remember, I'm not that hard to impress. I was like, I thought Sean Connery was great in that movie. But he's like, let's pop in here. And we just popped into the Pirates of the Caribbean at the Walt Disney movie theater and basically stole a movie from them. So that was pretty fucking cool, dude. That's like one of my good core memory of Uncle Steve. You know, and just through the years, man, he'd travel. He'd come back for the summer. He'd come see us. He'd see our kids. He saw my kids grow up. Him and Aunt Carol both were just always there. They took my mom internationally. So she went and lived internationally with them. My Aunt Val went internationally and lived with them and taught because they were all teachers and stuff. And like, you know, so it's just like, to me, it's like, damn, dude, you lived a good life, you know? You lived a good life. You know, and like, there's always issues within family and stuff, and I won't go into that, but it's like, why, Kevin? You've already gone so far. Don't hold back. But nah, it's not my business to tell on this one. But you know, just I can only speak of my own personal relationship with my Uncle Steve. And he was just, dude, always a nice guy. So, you know, like, my sister dies. He's like, I'm going to fucking take care of it, dude. Don't even worry. Took care of the whole thing. You know? He didn't have to do that. You know? And my mom dies a year later. 9 months later, I should say. Go watch 9 Months of Silence on my YouTube page. It's our... it's my first directorial day. It's my directorial debut about those 9 months and like living with the grief and like getting over the grief and all that, which I'm still not over it. You know, you're never over it. But yeah, my mom dies, and he, again, like, straight up told me years before that, like, I'll take care of her. He always took care of my mom and Aunt Val. You know, maybe other people in my family might disagree. That's their story, not mine. But in my personal experience, he always took care of them. And at least my mom. And, you know, so the last couple of years, you know, we were able to, because they were up in a little town up north, you know, here in Washington State. And so we'd always make the effort to go up there and see him during the summer. So we'd get an Airbnb, and we just, I don't know, for the last like 5 years, basically, like maybe minus 1 year, we didn't make it up there. But we went up there last year. I think the year before that we skipped. But then like the 2-3 years before that, you know, we just go up there and hang out with them. You know, they had a nice little place they were staying. He was still working and like, you know, doing teaching, and, you know, and then all of a sudden the cancer diagnosis came up a couple years ago, and, you know, he had such a great attitude about it, you know, and like that's something I've always, like, I don't know, I feel like me and him are like, the more I think about it, I think we were kind of very similar people in a sense, because I've always had the sense of adventure. I've always wanted to get out and go do shit. I feel like that's the same shit he had. You know, I talked to them. They're like, oh, yeah, we went to the Gorge in the 80s and saw Jimmy Buffett. You know, and it's like just always going and doing stuff. And it's like, you know, I like that, you know, and like, you know, maybe you slow down a little bit as you get older and stuff, you know, because at this point, like, you know, we're talking, you know, 70s and whatnot. But yeah, man, I definitely just value the fact that we were able to go up there those last, you know, 4 or 5 years and spend time with him and talk to him about our family. Like, there's one thing I did learn, because like I tracked our family going back to like, I'll have to spend a whole episode on this shit, the whole Porter name. Like, it's a whole backstory, dude. But I traced our family like all the way to Ireland in like, you know, the late 1800s or some shit. And I was like, oh shit, we're Irish. Because I'd always like heard, oh no, you're Scottish Norwegian. And then I see this Irish burial site for our family. And I'm like, well, that's cool, you know, okay. And then like I bring it up to him last summer. He's like, no, see what happened was we were Scottish and we emigrated to Ireland and then to the United States. Which apparently we emigrated to fucking South Carolina, dude. I got some deep roots down the South, dude. Fucking South Carolina, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas. What's up, dude? Shit. Oh, man. So, I don't know, man. It's, you know, the cancer diagnosis came, and again, he had, like, such a positive attitude about that, which is something I live by. And I respect him for that, you know? It's just like, he wasn't trying to, you know, scare anybody. He's like, dude, we're gonna get through this. You know, for 2 years, I mean, he went into remission, and then he came back, and then, you know, he just, I mean, as far as we knew within the last month, it was like he was doing good, at least based on his text messages and stuff, and like, but again, like I had that feeling, dude, like where I had to text him, and I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I followed through on that, because like I think that was something telling me, you know, because like I kind of had like just the thought in the back of my head, which I, you know, you don't want to like think about that type of stuff, but you know, you're just like, oh man, I just hope it's not worse than like he's letting on type thing. And yeah, dude, I mean, it was, unfortunately, and it spread, and that's all she wrote, dude. And you know, I want to take the time just right now to say I love you, Uncle Steve. You know, you always, again, you know, you always had a good example, at least in my own personal experience. Like, I always looked up to you in terms of, you know, being a man, you know, in the sense of, like, taking care of your family, being there for people when they need it. I don't know, man. I don't know. It sucks having to go through, like, death, you know, dealing with that, and the after effects of that, and, you know, now I mean, the blessing in a sense, I at least, you know, sitting here today, like the one blessing is like I'm really a lot closer to my Aunt Carol right now, you know, and that's nice. Like, you know, like, cause I always talk to Steve, you know, Aunt Carol was always there, but it's like, you know, I always talk to Uncle Steve, you know, but now that he's gone, it's like, okay, well, we need to help Aunt Carol. Like, that's just, again, that's what he would have done. That's what he did. I saw what he did, you know? So it's like, this is the best way I can, you know, respect him, is like, you know, do the same thing, you know, provide that for his wife, you know. And I don't know, there's positivity out of that you can find, because, you know, life goes on, unfortunately, and, you know, you have to say your goodbyes, and, you know, we just go, I don't know, that's like my mission philosophy. It's like I just go day to day, dude. Like, I try not to plan too far. You just take it day by day when it comes to shit like this, and you just try to do your best in life. I know it's cliche to say that shit, dude, but it's like, dude, if you're not doing that, again, we talked about that low fucking vibration shit. It's like, you don't want to be an asshole. Because sometimes I'm thinking in my head, it's like, you know, especially with, like, we talk about it on the podcast, like, and, like, you know, like, being in the basement of YouTube, you know, and, like, you know, so it's just, you know, because, again, like, I don't understand this whole algorithm thing. I don't understand this, because, like, because at the end of the day, it's like, okay, well, maybe your shit sucks, you know, maybe you suck. Maybe what you do on this podcast is not good. Maybe your sketches suck. Maybe your shows suck. And at the end of the day, like, you know, you have those thoughts, and it's like, well, I mean, I watch a lot of things online, and I've always tried to be very, like, disciplined in terms of, like, knowing what's good and knowing what's bad, at least for the effort that we can put in and what we do. And it's like, dude, like, I'm more inclined to be like, well, if anything, it's kind of in the middle, right? You know, it's like, am I the best? No, of course not. But am I the worst? Like, I don't think so, you know? And again, everybody has their own fucking opinion about it, and, like, whatever, but, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's just, it's hard to break through on this thing. It's like, I watch all these things, and they're like, you know, you talked about people, they're like, oh, they're getting like 1,000 views on each episode, and they're like, we're in the basement of fucking YouTube, and it's like, maybe we're in different tiers of the basement. I'm down here, they're up there, but I'm like, I'd be happy with 1,000 views, dude. Like, I'm happy if, like, something gets like 30 views, you know? But then the retention time is like, that's where it fucking kills you. And it's like, I guess if people just don't watch it, like, it just buries it, you know? Doesn't matter how good it is. People don't give it a chance. Well, you know, which I'm just as guilty of, like, clicking stuff, but it is what it is, man. But I don't know. I guess, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, I've struggled so much with that dream over the last 20 years. Like, because I remember being 19, dude, and just being like, dude, it's going to happen. Hard work pays off. That's what they told you. That's the American dream. Hard work pays off. So I put in as much work as I can. Obviously having to pay attention to the fact that I have a family. I'm fucking 20 years old. Like, I got kids. Like, I got a wife. So it's like you have to, and I have to work a full-time job. So it's like, let's put as much time as we can into these projects and do the best that we can. You know, that's always my attitude. Just do the best you fucking can. And I mean, there's been moments where it's like, oh shit, dude, you know, we're getting some fucking views. But then it's like, it stops. And then like it goes away. And it's like, okay. And now we're just kind of in this zone where it's like, sometimes something hits, sometimes it doesn't hit. Most of the time it doesn't hit. You know? So it's like, I think that's like this last year, like I truly hit a wall when it came to production, where in the last couple of years, I should say, because I took all last summer off too, you know, and it's like, at the end of the day, because in my mind, you know, I listen to like a person like Joey Diaz, and he's like, dog, if you want to make it in stand-up comedy, you got to be doing it 7 days a week, 365. You got to put all your energy into it. And like, so you listen to these people that are successful, and it's like, okay, well, you just got to do what they do. Well, it's like, Kevin, you don't, you know, you got family, you got kids, you got a job, you got all this shit. So it's like, because in my mind, I'm like, I want to fucking wake up in the morning and go to bed at night. Like, I want to fucking just put all my time into this, dude. Because I'm like, dude, if you put all your time into it, think about how good it's going to be then, you know? Like, you're just doing it and you're making it happen. And it's like, okay, well, like, I've always just accepted. It's like, well, this is life, and this is just obviously, you know, this is what we got, and we're just going to work within it. So again, that's just always been my mindset. But it's just like, I don't know, maybe that's why, like, it's just not out there, because we're not putting 24/7 in, you know? I don't know. I don't know the answer. And again, that's where I've struggled, just like, you know, in my mind, just being, you know, because like, you see it all the time in like kids that like, or, you know, I say kids, but, you know, younger people, where they're like, oh man, you know, this is going to happen, you know, but then they quit after like 4 fucking podcasts, you know, or something. And like, because I've had people over the years always ask me about shit, about doing this type of stuff. And it's like, dude, you know, because there is a community out there, people that, you know, do know that I do this, but do they watch what I do? Very few of you. Hey, Darren, what's up, dude? You're like one of the only people that watch. So, what's up, Rowdy? I know you watch. So, I don't know, dude. Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's just, it's a struggle. So, again, like the last 2 years, man, I've really just had to, like, mentally break it down and just, like your health is more important. Like, worrying about a podcast is stupid. Worrying about a movie is stupid. Worrying about your sketch shows is stupid. Like, have fun with your family and just do the best you can. You know, get the episode out when you can. When you feel like editing, edit. When you don't feel like editing, don't edit. And I'm just keeping it as simple as that, because before it's like, I got 5 days a week, dude. All right, I'm going to grind every single evening, dude. And that's what I've done for like, I've always done, you know? Like, the public access show is a little different, because like that had to be, I would have 2 days a week where I was off work, because I always worked weekends. So, okay, those 2 days, boom, Jory goes to daycare. I'm at the public access station at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not leaving till 6. You know, that's what it was. We're filming, editing, whatever, dude. I did that for 9 years. Had to take a break. And you know, we're about ready to hit 10 years now, next year, of like getting back into doing projects and stuff. And it's like, again, even at that 10 years ago, I still had that mindset. It's like, all right, like, you just got to put everything into it as much as you can. So again, you know, it's a little bit easier doing these projects because I can just come out to my garage and I actually have all the equipment, which is funny because like when I'm doing Spin This, I'm like praying to God. I'm like, God, this is all I want. I just want to be able to do it in my house and like do this whenever I want, you know, instead of being limited to this public access station. And God answered that prayer, you know. Was able to, you know, everything went down in price. And now everybody has a podcast, you know. So it's like, that's like, because back in the day, and I talked about this before, back in the day it was a novelty. It's like, dude, I got a public access show, dude. That's like having a band, you know. It's like, I'm in a band, dude. You know, nowadays it's like you got fucking dumbass crackhead down in the South filming himself fucking in some C-van fucking snorting up fucking chili peppers. 15,000 likes. What the fuck? Like, I throw up a movie review. Oh yeah, 30 people watch. Oh, okay, all right. I just spent like my entire Saturday afternoon fucking doing this, but sure, okay. But I don't know. So like that being said, dude, like that's where my mind's at. So it's like moving forward. It's like we're gonna do a little bit of a revamp for fucking Video Rental Chaos because I'm just watching all these, like, I'm really into like retro video games again right now. So I got like my whole entire setup here. You can't see it, but my CRT TV's there. I got a new power strip where I can plug every single device in. So I got my 64, Sega, Nintendo, SNES all set up. I just need to plug in my PS2 and get that set up over there. And so I just been playing a lot of video games, and I've been watching a lot of video game content. So I watch these guys like, Waiting for Nintendo, dude. Jason Graves, I think that's his name. I forget the other dude's name, but like Red Cow Entertainment. All these guys like kind of like nerdy dudes, but they're cool dudes, So like I kind of vibe. I'm like, oh, I could hang out with these guys, I could. And so I just watch their content, and I'm like just kind of watching what they do, and I'm like, oh, it's like it made me think about my own content. And it's like, oh, you need to like step up the production value a little bit because these guys, they're like, oh, it takes us like a month to put out an episode. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to put out an episode every week, like, So it's kind of like that's why you're just kind of like, okay, well. I gotta just do what I gotta do. But now that we're actually I think everything's meant to be. Everything's meant to be because it's like, okay, we're slowing down a little bit. We're taking our time. So why not take more time on the video instead of just rushing it out on a Saturday afternoon? It makes more sense. It allows you to like fucking like put the B-roll in there and do like different fun things. So it's like just watching their videos inspired me to like take Video Rental Chaos. So we're bringing it back. It's not going to be episodes every week, like maybe once a month, but it's going to be better production value. And I'm really excited to film this. I'm starting to write the script for it. So within the next month, we're going to have that out, and I'm really excited to see what comes of it. Again, I'm a half glass full type of person, dude. So like, come on, dude, give me a little bit more. Give me 1,000 views, dude. If I get 1,000 views on this episode, I think we're gonna be okay. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we did a whole hour, dude. 56 minutes, dude. I know it's cut down a little bit of time because of the stupid fucking UPS guy, but whatever. Yeah, this was a good episode. I feel good. I feel really good about life. I'm really happy with my family. I have really good friends around me. I just want to thank God, man. Through God, Jesus Christ, man. That's, and again, you may not be religious, but I am. And I thank God for that. Publicly. Like, Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, baby. That's the only way. So, that being said, final words. Uncle Steve, I love you. It's hard. It's hard to, again, just say what you meant to me in my life. And, Lord willing, we'll see each other one of these days. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to end it for us here on the podcast that no one listens to. Again, make sure you're checking out our Channel 23 Productions. I say all this stuff, but if everybody collectively would just go onto our pages, start watching the videos, like, I don't even care. Put the video on and then put your phone down. Let it play. I don't care about your data plans, okay? Get on Wi-Fi, just press play and go through the list, dude. And if we can start getting those watch levels up, I think the algorithm will look better at us, dude. I think the algorithm will be like, hey, people are watching their shit. Maybe we'll get more people to watch their shit, and then more people, and then more people. And then eventually, the dream is we can make $7,000 a month, and I can quit my fucking job. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know. It's like, nah, bump it to 10, dude. Make $10,000. Damn, dude. That'd be a lot. That'd be decent money, right? I don't know. Anyway, I don't fucking know. Maybe I don't quit my job. Maybe at least, come on, let me pay part of my bills, dude. That grout fund ain't gonna grout itself, dude. Okay, so that's an inside joke, dude. Fuck. I've been fucking with that Dancing with Ghost kid. I don't know. Go check his video out, dude. He's so fucking. I don't know. He's so whiny, dude. I know, but like Kevin, you're whiny. It's like, no, I'm reflecting on self. I don't know. I don't feel whiny. Maybe I am whiny. I don't fucking know. But I've been going on his Reddit. Dude. I've been fucking with people on Reddit a little bit. Going on to his subreddit and just apparently he's trying to get people to pay him money so he could fucking grout his fucking bathroom. So it's like, oh damn, there's worse things going on in the world, dude. Come work a customer service job for the next 20 years, you pussy. So all right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure again you're checking out all Channel 23 Productions videos. Again, I heart Argento. I love Argento. I'm sorry, Brandon, I forget the name. But check out Brandon Allen's brand new series on Channel 23 Productions. Eventually, he'll get it uploaded, but if you go to his personal page, you'll be able to watch it. Then make sure you're checking out Yo Joe, Real American Podcast, the Podcast in Disguise. Dude, we're back, baby. Dude, me and Dallas recorded on Monday. You'll see these episodes coming out over the weekend. They're funny as fuck, dude. Even if you don't like G.I. Joe or Transformers, like, we still just talk shit, dude. It's all it is. It's just me and him on there just talking shit. So it's fucking funny, dude. If me and him are like rolling over laughing, I'm like, I feel like that was a good joke. You know, if you got a TV mature sense of humor, definitely check it out. What else? Again, new video rental chaos in the works. So sometime next month. We got Shapeshifter coming up. We're working on the lines. So getting that shit committed to memory, and then we have a tentative plan to start shooting and kind of just figuring out everything from there. So I don't know, that is coming. We're still working on that. So I don't know. My dogs are barking. I'm out of breath. It's really hot in this room. But I'm Kevin Porter, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.